Hi everyone, this is Stan. I'm a YouTuber from Poland who used to live in Taiwan for 9 years and now making videos on Asian politics. Today let's talk about the Chinese vaccines. Yeah, those vaccines that the CCP leaders don't want to use themselves. The vaccines that make Chinese people's blood run cold. Well, China has much less than 1.4 billion doses produced, but still miraculously pushing for export of the vaccine. French President Emmanuel Macron called on China to be more transparent with the science behind its coronavirus vaccine. If the vaccine is not effective, it might cause risk to the general public. Well, and it's not only France criticizing China. Even though the Brazilian Health Regulatory Agency Anvisa has allowed China to gain its emergency sales license for CoronaVac. In December last year, they criticized China for being not transparent with the vaccines. Of course, China is always blaming the others and saying it's the foreign forces that want to defame China and even destroy China, calling everyone liars. Well, let's take a look at the opinions of the ordinary Chinese people. According to the survey conducted by the Chinese Journal of Vaccines and Immunization, the survey is called Investigation on the Willingness and Influencing Factors Regarding to the Novel Coronavirus Vaccination among medical staff in Zhejiang province. Women, highly educated persons, and medical staff all have low willingness to be vaccinated. Worrying about the vaccine side effects is their main concern. And the second one is doubts related to the effectiveness of the new vaccine. Among the 756 surveyed medical staff, the willingness to participate in vaccination is only 42.46%. And it was before the vaccine entered the market. After the vaccine entered the market, the willingness dropped to 27.5%. Compare this to 90% willingness of the common people. You know, medical workers probably understand the vaccine pretty well. Maybe second to only virologists and the people who worked on vaccine directly. They understand the need for a good vaccine. They understand the situation with the virus. And they also need the vaccine the most. And these people have the most concerns regarding the Chinese vaccine. What might it mean? On May 3rd this year, Guo Weiming, spokesperson for the 4th meeting of the 13th CPCC National Committee, said, by the end of February, a total of more than 52 million doses of coronavirus vaccine had been used across China. Although the total number of vaccinations is second to only the United States, but considering China's population of 1.4 billion people, it means that currently only 3.7% of the population is vaccinated. To reach herd immunity, at least 65% of the people should have antibodies. That's according to the public health standards. Even though we shouldn't trust the data provided by the CCP, but if we look at the total number of the people infected in China, including Hong Kong and Macau, by March 8th the number reached 101,141. The CCP needs at least 900 million people to be vaccinated before it can claim herd immunity. But the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs proudly said on February 23rd that China is exporting vaccines to 27 countries. And to what extent does it export those vaccines? According to the Hong Kong-based South China Morning Post, by mid-February, the CCP has provided more than 46 million doses of the vaccine to the world, which is even higher than the total number of vaccine doses in China at the time, which was 40.54 million doses by February. Looking at this data, don't you think it's a little bit weird? The number of people vaccinated by the Chinese vaccine abroad is higher than in China, and still China cannot reach herd immunity with its vaccine home. Well, as Detective Conan from Case Closed manga said, there is only one truth. Maybe it implies that hundreds of millions of Chinese people actually suffered from the CCP virus. No, the little pinks, CCP fans, cannot accept this fact. They'll tell you, we're showing our manners as a superpower. It's community with the shared future for the mankind, as Xi Jinping said. We've already been vaccinated by water or vaccines with questionable quality. Now, it's your turn. So, it's the vaccine diplomacy. It's the vaccine great leap forward. For the CCP, whatever happens in the world can be used for propaganda purposes. And all what the CCP fans want to do is to please their emperor. Besides, they don't want to be the only target in the third phase of the worldwide CCP vaccine trial. Let the people all around the world also be a target. Maybe foreign leaders don't care about the effectiveness of the vaccines either. As long as they have something to fight against, they will always be able to explain it to their people. Now let's take a look at how confusing the effectiveness of the Chinese vaccines is. The first is Sinovac. Trials in Turkey showed effectiveness of 91%. That's a good result. Oh, sorry, the result is related only to the 700 people who took part in the trial. The effectiveness in Indonesia was around 65% and 50.4% in Brazil, just a little bit higher than the 50% threshold defined by the WHO. German BioNTech, in cooperation with Instituto Butantan, early January said the efficacy of the vaccine is 78% against mild cases. Against medium and severe cases, it should be 100%. And on January 12th, they also added very mild cases, and the efficacy results dropped to 50.38%. Doesn't it look like juggling with terms? In addition, the vaccine efficacy of China's Sinopharm group can only be described as horrifying. The effective rate of Sinopharm Beijing's vaccine in the UAE is 79.34%, but in Peru it's only 11.5%. What? So the odds here are even lower than winning in triple red hot sevens. Another vaccine by Sinopharm made with Wuhan Institute of Biological Products only reached efficacy of 33%. So what's the real efficacy? It gets only more and more confusing. Reproducibility is a basic principle of scientific method, but probably not applicable to China's vaccine. Well, China is not transparent with their vaccines. We also have no way of knowing if the problem with the vaccine is related to lot-to-lot consistency, or the vaccine provided by the CCP is fundamentally different every time, just as their masks. Every time their propaganda pieces just turn into emperor's new clothes. Sometimes I'm wondering if those people are doing it on purpose. The best illustration here would be the willingness of Chinese chairman, Chinese leader, to use the vaccine. And he doesn't want to do it, no matter what is wrong with China's domestic vaccines. The whole situation is only showing that Xi Jinping, like that emperor from Andersen's fairy tale, has no clothes. And yeah, he doesn't want to use the Chinese vaccine. Now, when the vaccine became available for the people older than 65 years in Beijing, Xi Jinping still doesn't want to have a shot. Fosun Pharma announced at the end of last year that it would import at least 100 million doses of German BioNTech vaccines. Think about it, there are only 90 million members of the Chinese Communist Party. If they all get their shots, there will be more than 10 million vaccines left. A good reward for the obedient 50-cent army. Domestic vaccines are for the peasants. The CCP's high class is getting the imported vaccines for themselves. So, the data above just shows that Taiwan has nothing in common with China. According to the survey made by the Global Views Monthly, the survey is titled Vaccination Willingness Survey. From 4th to 7th February year 2021, people over age of 18 were surveyed in Taiwan. 101,045 valid questionnaires got retrieved. One of the questions was, if the Taiwanese government provides free vaccines for the public, what kind of vaccine would you prefer? 54.8% would prefer Taiwanese vaccine. 31.8% vaccine from Europe or the United States. 5.7% said that any kind of vaccine is okay. 6.4% answered, I'm not sure, I don't know. And only 1.3% said that they would prefer Chinese vaccine. Therefore, 93% of the people would rather not take the Chinese vaccine. And some Taiwanese people say, I won't use Chinese vaccine. Taiwanese, US or European are okay. And if it's one of the three, let Mr. Chen Shizhong arrange everything. Chen Shizhong is the health minister of Taiwan. It also means that Taiwanese in their mass trust the government. So, Taiwan's premier Su Zhancang also said at the Legislative Yuan recently, if the people won't agree to get a vaccine, he is willing to take lead and take the shot first. Compared with the Chinese government's attitude to the Chinese people, the difference is massive. It seems that the CCP once again proved that Taiwan is an independent country, not related to China. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please press like, subscribe and share. This is Stan, and I see you in the next one. Bye bye.